talking a bit more normally rather than whispering the answers to these questions. I've got a bit of a sore throat. Had a cold the last couple of weeks, you see. Anyway, let me start with the first question. So tell me, what does ASMR stand for, and how do you perceive it personally? Well, ASMR is the autonomous I told you I've got a cold. ASMR is the autonomous sensory meridian response, which typically manifests as tingles on the scalp, and then can go down the back of your spine and give a kind of sense of euphoria or elation. Just feeling good generally, usually. Personally, I'm more susceptible to frizzen, which is the musical equivalent when your hairs stand up on end when you hear a really good piece of music and there's a really good visual going on at the same time. That's for the more typical ASMR, which is caused by sounds which are not musical necessarily. More like crinkles. I probably haven't experienced that since being a child, but I kind of I get there, but it doesn't quite manifest. So I'm kind of interested in reproducing this myself, for me, and of course for other people, which would include you. The next question: how did I discover ASMR? I'm not sure. I mean, I do kind of follow Google Trends. I do, you know, I am on the internet a lot, finding out what's going on. I'm fairly meme aware, you may say. So I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago, probably a Gizmodo article or something, I don't know, I really don't know. But I did go to Google Trends, and if you put ASMR into Google Trends, you will see the interest over time up. So we're not alone, and although I wouldn't call it mainstream just yet, some advertisers have picked up on it and exploiting it for advertising. That's fine. Second part of question 2, how did it positively affect you? Well, for me personally, it's just curiosity, I guess. It's like an old childhood memory that I want to try and rekindle. So, you know, I think of my childhood. Most of my childhood was a good one, early childhood, and I suppose it's nostalgia and a search for those feelings again, which generally are positive and feel good. Question number 3. What are the common reasons or purposes why people might start using ASMR? Now, the primary reason, I think, is relaxation, and that's why there's a lot of whispering videos and a lot of soft talking. because people just like to hear the noise and then just drift off to sleep, which is fine. I think that's the most common reason. On this channel we're a bit more experimental, and I believe that ASMR experience can be far more intense. Doesn't always have to be positive, but it is always safe, so you can, you know, create a roller coaster of emotions rather than just, oh, I'm going to send you to sleep. Maybe I'm going to scare you, but not in this video. I'm going to refrain from being too experimental in this video. Question number 4. Being recognised as an ASMR artist is not easy. So what motivates you to make ASMR videos? What makes you determined to make them? And what kind of triggers stand out in your style that you started to see positive reactions from people? Well, firstly, I'm not really recognised, so people who know me either have no idea what ASMR is, and it's not a problem, or very few of them do know what it is, and they think it's cool. So I don't find it that difficult myself. So maybe this was translated from, I think, Spanish, so there may be some translation gone awry, I don't know. But yeah, I don't find it difficult. But what motivates me is the kind of experimentation and the pushing the envelope and defining subgenres of ASMR. It doesn't all have to be sort of sexy whispering, does it? Or does it? I don't know. What kind of triggers stand out now? I've come to realise that the very few talking videos I've done have had a fairly positive reaction. So thus I'm opening up a bit, talking a bit more. Question 5. Are there any differences in your day-to-day life before ASMR compared to after? Personally, not really. I've always been interested in sound and sound design. I've always liked a stereo sound stage, so I do like going from ear to ear, both recording and as a listener. So for me personally, no huge difference in how I notice sounds or how I interpret them. Question number 6. Which kind of people specifically would you recommend to try out ASMR, and why? That's a difficult one. I mean, my audience is 85% male, which is curious. So I don't know. I guess people who are audiophiles, people who are interested in performance art and art in general. I think it's quite difficult to pigeonhole a typical listener of ASMR, and there's lots of subgenres as well. So yeah, how about everyone? Everyone should try it at least once, right? That's the best answer I have for that question. Question 7. Which kind of comments do people... Okay, this is definitely a bit lost in translation, this one, I'm sorry. Which kind of comments do people use to say to you? So I think this may mean what typical kind of comment do I get? Yeah, they're not all that flattering, all of them. Most of them are positive, but certainly in the beginning there was a lot of negativity in my comments. Not me commenting, but my commentators were not happy with what I was doing. And you know, as a content creator, you do react to that. You try not to take things too personally, and you just kind of get on with it. So there's no typical comment really. I think it does generate a reaction, especially my style. There's a layer of there's a satirical element. I may appear to take this all very seriously, but I probably don't take it as seriously as you might think I take it. Although I do take it quite seriously, because it does generate a very small revenue for me. So as a business, it's worth me taking it seriously. As a form of entertainment, no one really wants to watch a businessman, unless it's a role play. Maybe they'd want to watch a businessman role play, I don't know. What's the greatest thing you've read on your comments? Well, the one that always springs to mind is a really early comment where I was still finding my style, finding my format, and I kind of like rolled a piece of rubbish up and flicked it. And someone in the comments said, "Hey, that's great, you've found your kind of trademark." And I was like, he's right. This guy is right. I should do this more. And yeah, ever since I've, if you notice in a lot of my unboxing videos, and there's a lot of those, I often scroll up the thing into a little ball, flick it, accidentally give you the finger, which I stole from somebody else. Whisper Rita, if you're watching. All good human stuff, obviously. What was the question? Comments, yeah, and back then, I think the username was something like Black German 91. I really can't remember. It's bad that I can't remember, but it was like a couple of years ago, and I don't even know if he or she still watches. But if you do still watch, you really helped. You have no idea how you helped me discover my format. I shouldn't really say that. It's like giving away, like, I don't know, secrets or something. And so that's probably my most memorable comment, and it really helped me at the time. Okay, now question number 9. What does it take to be a serious ASMR artist besides a good mic? Well, you know what? I don't necessarily think you need a good mic. You just need a mic you can get close to, because it's all about the position of the microphone. And true, you don't want a microphone with loads of with a really high noise floor. But today, you know, even I'm recording this from a phone. This is a MEMS, a MEMS mic, a tiny little electronic microphone, and the noise floor is really very quiet. If you just listen, you can probably hear my mum's gardener talking outside the garage those days are excuse me, those days are gone, thankfully. So I think you just need, first you need to be pretty shameless. It's taken me a long time to get this comfortable on camera, and believe me, I'm still not that comfortable, but comfortable enough. So I think you need to get comfortable on camera, one way or another. Yeah, and you have to have lots of ideas, and or be able to take elements of other people's ideas and make them your own. There's no real secret, no secret sauce. Question number 10. Should ASMR be recognised by health professionals? I think it should certainly be recognised as a phenomena that maybe everyone's capable of experience, or maybe they're not, but certainly some people do experience it, and I get close. I mean, I get close, but it doesn't quite happen for me as an adult. So yeah, I can see it should be recognised as any other kind of response to a stimuli. Yeah, why not? Whether it should be recognised as a therapy, it's a little bit more debatable. But you know, I mean, relaxation videos have been around for a long time, and like I say, this channel is not all about relaxation, although maybe it's an area I may expand upon, depending on what the producer lets me do. Question number 11. Do you feel ASMR could be used not only for depression, insomniac episodes and anxiety, but also for bigger diseases such as autism, PTSD, and even people in a vegetative state? And there's a note that ASMR is highly searched on for the first 3 mentioned diseases, which I guess she means depression, insomnia, and anxiety. Which I actually find that quite surprising. Although I guess it's all, those are mental health states. I think disease is possibly not the correct term. Mental health state, disease, I don't know. I mean, a disease to me is more physical, more, you know, it's more biological rather than mind. Anyway, I'll leave the semantics there because I'm probably incorrect. So what was the question? Outsiders. Depression, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes people feel good because there's a personal attention element. I mean, I'm talking to you. I mean, right here, right now, me. I just see the camera. You can probably see the reflection. I just see me because I'm using the selfie camera, and I think, what an ugly bastard. But you know, if it helps someone, that's great. I've forgotten to put my gloves on. Now you can see my ugly hands. So yeah, I mean, it's a really difficult question. I mean, I think if you're a depressive, insomniac, anxiety-laden personality, then of course it's relaxation. It's you know, take me away to somewhere else. Let me just sit back, relax, listen, enjoy, rather than whatever's in front of your face affecting you and getting you down. Again, there's a lot of role play. There's a lot of like fantastical elements to ASMR. There's also there's ASMR for everything. I mean, but could it be used for autism? I mean, I can see why an autistic personality may get attracted to some ASMR. You know, I know of autistic people who will watch a film and they actually find the credits more interesting than the film, and they watch all the credits and then they just memorize them, and it's like, okay, that's what they want to do. That's therapeutic for that personality, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I can't relate to it. I find it totally alien that someone would. Although having said that, when I was younger, I did used to watch all the credits in a film, but then I was more listening to the music than I don't know. It's a tough one. So autism, I think an autistic personality could get obsessed with watching a video over and over and over and over and over and over, and that's fine. No problem with that. You could say that would be, be good for your channel. You've got a lot of watch time, engagement. Bit cynical though, isn't it? Excuse me. So yes, this is a really difficult question, and PTA, post-traumatic kind of stress disorder. Again, it's kind of like, it's about escape, isn't it? It's about prolonging the denial. Is it? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Maybe I should be in one of my role plays, but in real life, I'm not a doctor. So I'm just not qualified to answer this question. And a vegetative state, I mean, how would you know? I mean, just go and watch or read. Actually, the book's better, but the film, if you're too lazy to read the book, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly is a really good book about. Well, actually, that's more locked-in syndrome more than vegetative, comatose, whatever. I don't know. I honestly, question 11, I can't answer it in any coherent, articulated way. I'm just rambling bollocks at the moment, aren't I? So I'll quit question 11 because it's not going anywhere for me. Okay, so question number 12. Imagine there's no YouTube. It's easy if you try. I'm taking a mic. Imagine there's no YouTube platform. Which other broadcast, with or without needing internet, would you like ASMR videos to be available on, and how? I mean, again, that's really difficult because YouTube is there, and it is actually quite difficult for me to imagine now a world without YouTube. I'm looking over there. I should just looked at the camera, shouldn't I? Damn it. I'm not going to edit this. I am just going to upload this raw because maybe I'll explain in another video why I don't edit too much. So yeah, I mean, again, number 12, I guess it would have to be, a sort of Blu-ray or something, or something that you'd buy off the shelf. I don't know. So you'd be back to DVD distribution. You'd be back to like the dark ages. But again, I don't have a good answer for that question. Sorry, very sorry. Question 13. Are the ways of creating ASMR videos evolving? Yes, they are, and I think it's because of the technology. Like I say, I'm filming this on a phone, which is quite capable of doing decent stereo ear to ear audio. And it fits in my pocket. I can take it anywhere. It's like having a notepad. This is not a soundproof studio. It's a garage. And that was a police car, which you probably did hear. So yeah, I think it's evolved with the technology. I think it's become more accessible, like just filmmaking in general. It's so easy, you know, to make anything now. Anybody can pick up a anybody can pick up a camera and create. You know, it's once upon a time, you know, quill pens were the new technology, and anybody could learn to write and read and stuff, and they did. Things move on, though. I don't know. It's what will be beyond video, I guess, full immersion, and I think ASMR is a really good medium for kind of full immersion. I think it's one of the only kind of filmmaking genres where recording production audio in stereo is actually worthwhile. I mean, usually a Hollywood film is so manufactured that it's recorded mono. A lot of the time the dialogue's recorded in a studio because the on-set was too noisy or whatever. Whereas personally, I mean, I've always liked documentary, but what I like about ASMR is there are no rules and it's limitless. And if you want to do stereo production audio, you can, and it's not kind of frowned upon because there is no Hollywood of ASMR. There is no gatekeeper, not yet. But we'll see what happens in the future, won't we? So yeah, evolving with the technology, I think, like most things. Question 14. Question 14. Would you say ASMR is only for adults? No, but I don't think a child will know that they're watching ASMR. They may appreciate it or they may not. I know there is some wacky stuff. Actually, I've been hit with age limit on some of my ASMR videos. So the second part of this question: is there an age limit for consuming or making ASMR videos? And you know, I don't think there is. I think it's the same rules like for any video making. Is you have to be psychologically prepared that you're putting yourself out there, and it's got to be age appropriate, really. You know, I wouldn't be necessarily happy with children under 13 watching all of my stuff, for example, just because children are mimics, and well, I did get, for totally different reasons. You see, I always thought you had to be 13 to use YouTube, and I remember at 13, I knew the difference between what was real and what was fake. But a few of my videos got dinged for being too realistic, despite the fact they weren't realistic at all. So you know, I got a community guideline strike, which is still with me until June this year. This year being 2018, so June 2018, in the middle of June, like that strike goes away, and I can actually start broadcasting live, which I may or may not try again. I don't know. It's just things with the live broadcasts through the phone. It only broadcasts mono, and I really like the stereo effect you can giving a person sort of headspace by using stereo. Told you I was an ugly fucker. Question 15. Did you have to study anything about the sounds and concepts while you were producing your videos? Well, me personally, no. I've got a sound recording background. I know about recording production dialogue, I know about sound design, I know about Foley, I know about microphones, I know about microphone placement, I know about polar patterns, I know about Pascals or whatever, the hotness or coldness of a mic. I know about signal to noise ratio, I know about the noise floor, I know about the kind of the audio spectrum. So I didn't really have to learn anything specifically. It was just, ASMR came along, and for me, I saw it as a vehicle to continue doing something I loved, but bring it to the forefront of the content, because you don't necessarily have to be watching the visual. You don't necessarily have to be watching the visual for ASMR. You just have to be listening, and it's all it's primarily about the audio rather than the visual. So I quite like that. I've got a cold, still a bit bunged up still. So no, I didn't specifically have to study, and I haven't studied, although do look up the ASMR University. It's not a real university, but that's where I got my degree. And okay, the last question number 16. So what are all the benefits I know about from consuming ASMR? I regard it as any other form of entertainment. It can be good, it can be bad. It's in the eye of the beholder. You either get something out of it or you don't. It's a really difficult. Again, that's a really difficult question for me to answer. What are all the benefits of ASMR? For me as a content creator, it allows me to create content that I enjoy making, because it's about the sound. There's a microphone there. Can you hear that? Can you hear that in that ear? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? And there's a microphone there. Can you hear that? And that's just my phone. That's just a phone. Imagine what I could do with one of those 3D I/O things, huh? I did have a Neumann RSM 191 once upon a time. That was a really nice microphone. So that's at the end of the questions. So thank you for sending in the questions. I haven't printed out the rest of the email, so I've totally forgotten who sent it, what your name was, or I would mention it now, but it's obviously on my phone, which is recording the thing, and I hope that was somewhat useful to you. And I'll leave you with some crinkling noises. How about that? That smudge there, has been really annoying me this whole interview.